Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to talk to you about my top 5 Swiss Arabian fragrances. So Swiss Arabian is one of my favorite Middle Eastern brands, and the reason is because their fragrances are so nice and they're so affordable as well. Like they're not expensive at all, and nothing is above £100. I think they're all under £100. And most of the time there's a sale on as well, so it's even cheaper. So I absolutely love Swiss Arabian fragrances. And the other reason why is because their packaging, their bottles are so beautiful. Like, look at this one. This one is from the Heritage series. So they have a lot of fragrances in this bottle. And it's just so beautiful. Like, look at it. Look at the cap. Look at the bottle. Look at the design on the cap as well. And everything about it is just so beautiful. The thing is, though, is that because it's a cheap brand, I feel like a lot of people don't give it enough recognition. But if this was like a niche brand that did this type of bottle, that everybody would be like, oh wow, this and that, it's so amazing, so beautiful. But definitely I think that Swiss Arabian deserves a lot more recognition for their packaging, their bottle designs as well, because for the price you're paying and then the bottles you're getting as well and the scent you're getting as well, it's so totally worth it. A lot of you have been requesting me to do reviews on cheap fragrances, so this is the first of those videos. So I am going to start off with Wagged, which is from the the Heritage Collection. I don't think I showed you the bottle properly, but that's how the bottle looks. So it's a really beautiful looking bottle, and then you've got a really attractive cap, and it's got their design on there as well for their collection, and then you've got the Swiss Arabian initials as well, and it's just so pretty. It looks so nice in the cupboard, like with the other fragrances. So yes, this is Wagged, and before I forget, actually, let me just tell you that the fragrances I'm going to talk about today are either for women or unisex. I'm not going to do any men's fragrances in my top 5 collection because they're like my personal choice, if that makes sense, like something that I would wear. But at the end, I do have a bonus fragrance for you, which is just for men, and I'm going to tell you about that at the end. So back to Wagged. So Wagged is like a sweet, fruity, floral scent with hints of musk. So this has Turkish rose and apple in the opening, patchouli and orris root in the heart, and amber, musk, and resins in the base. So for me personally, when I wear this, I get the rose, patchouli, and apple for most part of the fragrance journey. I hardly get any resins from this, but I do get hints of musk and amber when it kind of starts to dry down. The apple, rose, and patchouli never go away though. So for me personally, in my fragrance journey with this fragrance, the apple, the rose, and the patchouli are always there from start to finish. This is a beautiful fragrance which is suitable for men and women, and it was one of the ones that I liked the most out of the whole collection. Next up we have got Noura. So Noura is a lady's fragrance. Let me tell you that first. It's a lady's fragrance, and I don't think Swiss Arabian has this in their stores anymore or online, but you can get it from like third-party retailers and independent shops as well across the world. It depends on whoever stocks Swiss Arabian fragrances. So Noura comes in an oil and a spray. I have 2 oils and a spray. I finished 1 oil and 1 spray, and this is the oil that I've got left, which is why it's full. So Noura is quite strong on the honey and the saffron. I personally like it, but my daughter hates it because of the strength. So this also has lily, rose, vanilla, and musk. It's a classic feminine fragrance, but it is quite strong. The next up we have got Shagaf Oud Aswad. So this one is one that's been around for many years. Obviously in the Shagaf collection we've got so many new fragrances now. So some people think that this is a man scent, but I personally think that it's quite unisex. So it's a beautiful rose oud, woody, spicy combination. It's quite similar to the last one I'm going to talk about, but the last one I'm going to talk about is more feminine and this one is more unisex. So the lasting power of this though isn't that great as compared to the other fragrances. But it's only like £20. So even if it lasts 2 hours, that's good enough for me because I like the scent profile. It's nice. And you can just keep it in your bag and just top up whenever you need to, or just spray another fragrance later on. As I said, we do have other similar fragrances in the Swiss Arabian house. And of course, you've got so many other fragrances in the Shagaf collection, which I haven't tried all of them yet, but I will hopefully try them soon. But this one, as I said, has been around for absolutely ages, and it's one of the cheaper ones. It doesn't last that long, but the scent profile itself is really nice and it's unisex. The next up we have got Oud 74. So this one I've only got a sample of, but I do plan on buying a full bottle soon. Oud 74 is also from the Heritage collection, but in the Heritage collection you've got like 2 parts. One is like the rose, the amber, the oud, and the musk ones, and then the other one is the one that I talked about at the start, where Wagged is part of that collection. Can't remember specifically what their names are, but basically overall they're called the Heritage Collection. So Oud 74 is one of the 3 ouds from that collection. So you've got Oud 1, Oud 7, and you've got this one. So this one is the most animalic out of those 3. Not super animalic if you compare it to other fragrances, but from those 3, this one has got the more animalic notes. If you don't like skanky oud scents, then definitely don't go for this, but try the other 2 ouds, because one of them is like a woody oud and the other one is like a fresh fruity oud. So I personally love Oud 74. It's a sweet Indian oud and Malaysian oud scent. A little warm, a little balsamic, and for £65, it's a fabulous oud option. And on top of that, the bottle is exactly like this as well. So again, definitely worth it. So Oud 74 is also definitely another unisex fragrance. In the UK, it's about £85. So I definitely recommend getting it from the Middle East, because I think it's about £65 in the UAE. It's only if you're traveling anytime soon. Otherwise, there's no point in you spending like £500 on a plane ticket to save £20 on a fragrance, obviously. So yeah, if you are traveling anytime soon, then highly recommend you to get your Swiss Arabian fragrances from the Middle East rather than the UK or even the US, because I've heard that the US is quite expensive too. And then finally, we've got my favorite, which is Sahar Al Sheila. So this is my most favorite fragrance from Swiss Arabian to date. This is a feminine version of Shagaf Oud Aswad. So this, you've also got rose and oud, but the rose in this is more prominent. This is also a little bit spicy. It has some patchouli as well, so it gives off like this sweet, subtle sweetness, and it's also a little bit balsamic. This also has jasmine, iris, and vanilla. So whilst it's similar to Oud Aswad, it does start to change in scent after a while. Oud Aswad kind of like darkens, but this doesn't. This remains floral, sweet, and oudi. And more than anything, I think the rose in this stands out more. And the lasting power of this is really, really good as well. The projection of this is really good as well for the price you're paying. And as I said, this is my most favorite to date from the Swiss Arabian house. I actually finished this completely, so I am planning on buying another full bottle soon. And at the same time, I'm going to get the Oud 74 as well, because I'm in love with that fragrance as well. Actually, that being said, I think both of them two might be my number 1 spot for me from Swiss Arabian. So the bonus fragrance that I have for you is Rakan, which is just for men. So this is a men's fragrance, and this has been around for years and years and years. Like the first time I smelled this was on my husband, and you're talking about 15 years ago now. And when he wore it, I immediately fell in love with this fragrance. It's a masculine scent, but it's like a fresh, woody, a little bit metallic scent. Also finished, but I do need to get him another bottle actually, but this is a stunner for me. Again, back in the day, I think this used to cost about £20. Obviously, it might have gone up in price now, but it is, well, as far as I know, it is still available at Swiss Arabian. So I definitely recommend you guys to check this fragrance out if you can. It's one of my favorites from the men's collection. It has been one of my favorites for the last 15 years, and it's been an absolute must in my husband's collection. So every time it finishes, we always go and get him another bottle. So that one is Rakan by Swiss Arabian, if you can see. And that is my bonus fragrance, and that's the only men's fragrance I'm going to talk about in this video. So yes, guys, that is my top 5 Swiss Arabian fragrances for unisex and just women. Then, of course, there's Rakan, which I spoke about, which is just for men. If you have any questions about any of the fragrances I've spoken about, then let me know in the comments box below. Otherwise, all of these are under £100, whether you buy from the UK or from the Middle East. Definitely try them out if you can, and I'll see you guys soon.